Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Hector Arena. This is the big one here, folks. It's the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Finals for Nova Scotia. A best-of-5 series to determine who will be representing the province at Lynx over in Charlottetown later this month. It's the Subway Selects and the Cape Breton Lynx to try and determine who will be the best team in Nova Scotia. The Lynx travel well, as it has quite the fan base. You can see the Purple Wigs cheering on their squad over on the away side. Two same goalies for both teams that have led them the whole playoffs. Amy Fields and Ellie Power both get the start in net. It's loud here at the Hector Arena. We're about to get started for the opening face-off. The Subway Selects won in double overtime in Game 5 against the Greenfoot Capitals in this very building. Hallie Rose MacLean will take the opening face-off against Layla Austin. We are underway in the Nova Scotia Finals of the U18 Major Girls Hockey League. That's going to be worked through center. Here comes Hallie Rose MacLean. She'll chip it ahead inside the zone. It is loud here at Hector. That's going to be turned over by the Lynx. Here's LaWand as that will make its way out of the zone and sent right back in deep by Lexi McIntyre, having a great season for the Subway Selects once again. That's going to be chipped up ahead by MacLean. And on the forecheck is Austin. She'll make a move in the slot. Shot will go into the glove. And that will be our first whistle. Amy Field gets her first touch of the series. Gives us a chance to look at the top performers on the Subway Select side. Hallie Rose MacLean, Anna MacArthur. Boy, have they had great playoffs so far. MacArthur with a couple OT winners in last series. Hallie Rose MacLean, 3 goals and an assist for 4 points in 5 games, as her incredible Maritime Major Girls Hockey League career will come to an end. Over 100 points in the league. She is committed to Syracuse in the NCAA Division I, as that's going to be worked inside the zone. Here's Carrie Dwaron. She'll go up the wall as MacArthur trying to clear. That's going to be kept inside the select zone. We're 1 minute into Game 1 here in Pictou. Here's Dwaron looking to get the puck out of her zone. It's going to be sent up ahead by Richards as Vickers will turn the puck over. Here comes Vickers. Shot will go off the blocker. Rebound to the corner. That's going to make its way up the wall, and that will get past the blue line inside the Lynx zone. Back to retrieve it is Andrew. That's going to be an icing call. As we take a quick look at the head-to-head. In the regular season, the Subway Select swept the regular season 5-0. But this Cape Breton Lynx team is a different beast here in the postseason, as they defeated the Lindsay Sturgeon in round 1, which was definitely considered an upset. All thanks to their goaltender, Ellie Power, who stood on her head, robbed, and stole the series. There's Vickers at the blue line. She'll work it back in deep. It's going to be picked off. There's Dwaron looking to move the puck up the ice for the Subway Selects. That'll be intercepted at center. There's Andrews. As that'll be worked up ahead. There's Cremo trying to drop it off there, but her teammate was changing, couldn't make the exchange. That'll be worked in the corner. Here's a pass in front. Here come the Lynx, but good poke check off the stick of Gritton will prevent a scoring chance. Here comes the Selects. That's going to be dumped in by Bria Tanner at the blue line. Makes its way in the corner. A big crowd on hand here in Hector. Makes for a great atmosphere here in Game 1. There's a chance for the Lynx as Mary Margaret MacLean will work it through center. That's going to be picked off and sent down the ice. And that'll be an icing call once again against the Subway Selects. 2:15 has gone in the opening frame of the opening game. The finals in the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League. The finals going on right now as well. The Western Wolves and the Eastern Stars, as well as the New Brunswick finals. The Kraken, who are up 2-0 in the series just over the Flames, despite not winning 2 games all year in the regular season. That just shows that anything can happen in playoffs. Same kind of story with the Lynx, as they were the heavy underdog in round 1, but took care of the Surge in 4 games to move on to this provincial final championship series, as that's going to be sent in deep by the Selects. Puck in the corner. as that's going to be cycled in. Here is Gabriel. Gabriel will hesitate and then work it through the middle. Here comes Layla Austin with it now. Austin will go wide on the near side wall. She'll chip it in deep. Field out to play it. Field. Use it for Burris as that's going to be chipped off the boards. Here comes the Subway Selects looking to enter the zone with Hallie Rose MacLean, but she was well defended. You know that Hallie Rose is going to be circled on the matchup board for Robin LeBlanc and the Lynx. You know they're trying to get a good defensive pair out against her. The pass in front, that's going to be off the stick of Fields, defending her blue paint in front. Is good look there for Julia Brown to open the scoring for Cape Breton. Puck comes free. Here's Morel. Morel will go backhand up the wall. That'll be chipped into the zone by Brown. Back to retrieve the puck is Carrie Dwaron. Dwaron will put the brakes on her own goal line, sent up the wall. Looking for Fife. Francis McDonald's going to be kept in. Here's a chance for the Lynx shot. Rebound! Cleared away. Right there on the doorstep was Cassie Cremo. Couldn't bang that one in as Andrews finds the puck at the red line and will send it right back in deep. 2-0 of the shots in favor of Cape Breton here on the road in game one. They've come to play as Gabriel, last player back for the Lynx. She'll work it up the ice. As that will come free at the blue line. Here come the Subway Selects. Here's a shot that will sail past Power over the net. Vickers looking for the loose puck against MacLean. That's going to be sent in deep by Carly Doyle. Here's Vickers. Plays it over to her partner. That was Gabriel, who was on her knees but still made the play. Here come the Lynx. That's going to be chipped up ahead. Cremel looking to corral the bouncing puck as that will come off of her stick and come free. Here is Boyle. Carly Boyle advances the puck towards the offensive zone. Her pass will be intercepted by Mary Margaret MacLean. She'll make a pass to center. It's going to be picked off and sent in deep by Ella Gritton. Here comes Cape Breton. Pass to the middle looking for Ava Landry, the captain. She's had an unbelievable season as well for the Lynx. Big part of why they got this far. She scored in overtime to win game one back in Dartmouth a few weekends ago. As there's an interception in the neutral zone. That'll be worked along the wall. Selects find it. They'll play it in the zone, but it's going to be offside, and that will stop play. Get a chance to look at the Lynx top performers in the playoffs so far. Of course, Ellie Power. Look at that goals against average, 1.25. And Ava Landry, 4 points in 4 games to get her team to the second round in the provincial final. As that's going to be sent into the zone by Burris. As there's a pass in front, chance, and Power makes a save off the pad. Her first official shot of the game. Here comes the Cape Breton Lynx the other way. Morel makes a move. Here's a pass towards the goal. As Brown couldn't whack that one home. Julia Brown having a good start so far. She's had a few scoring chances, putting herself in the right areas of the ice. So that's going to be covered up by Field, and that will cause a whistle. Not sure if you can hear the noisemakers on this side of the ice, but Cape Breton has come in bunches, and they are loud here at the Hector Arena, trying to create a more home-like atmosphere. As it's the two most northern teams in the province that made it all the way to the finals. That chance will go off a stick and to the blue line. Here's Vickers. She'll play it back in deep. It's going to make its way around the wall. Here come the Subway Selects looking to advance the puck. There's a battle as McIntyre will spin and fire that one into the zone. Here's Vickers. Vickers goes up the wall for Brown. Brown can handle that cleanly, and that'll be sent right back in deep by Carrie Dwaron. There's Vickers again behind her own net. There's a collision in the slot. That'll clear the puck. As that'll be sent in deep by Peruch, or MacArthur rather. Here's McIntyre at the blue line. She'll play it back in deep looking for Hallie Rose MacLean, but she couldn't get the positioning as McNeil was there to defend her. Here's McNeil with a chance to clear out of her own corner. That's going to come free off the collision along the wall. They're still trying to battle for possession here. As that will finally come free. MacArthur looking to play to the blue line, intercepted by Brown, and she'll send it down the ice. 7 minutes have gone here in game one, still scoreless here in Pictou. Here's MacLean. She'll chip it in deep. That's going to bounce its way off the end wall. Selects will go for a change. Here comes Gabriel. Gabriel will get the red line and send it in deep. As that's going to come free in the corner. There's Gritton. Gritton will play it to the opposite wall. Kept in by the Lynx as that shot will be off a stick. Chance the other way. Here comes Bria Tanner. Tanner will lead the charge for the Select. Shot at the rush to go off a shin pad. Chance the other way. Here comes Cape Breton. Cremo has it. Cremo through the middle of the ice. Makes a move. Will try and poke it towards the goal. That's going to go off a stick. As a bit of a chess match here to start game one. Both teams not giving an inch defensively as that shot will go wide of the net. There's Chisholm. Allie Chisholm will get the line and send it in deep. Dump and chase, the name of the game so far for both sides. There's a battle in the corner looking for that loose puck. 2-on-2 down low. That's going to come free for a moment, but the Cape Breton Lynx will gain possession. Here comes Landry. Landry can't enter the zone cleanly, force to chip it in deep. That'll come free for Connolly for the Selects. She'll go up the wall for Fife Francis McDonald. Selects get it back again in neutral ice. That's going to be sent down towards their end by a defensive stick from the Lynx as that will be worked up ahead. Landry intercepts the dumping attempt. That's going to be bad out of midair and sent in deep by Lalonde. Here's McIntyre. She'll throw it up the ice. That'll be chipped into the zone. No icing is a signal from the official. Here's Martin in the forecheck looking to center a pass, so that will go off a stick. Comes free in the corner, 2-on-2 down low. Here's Vickers. Jade Vickers, nice move to get by the forecheck. Vickers stole the puck in her own end, looking to make a play down the ice, but that will be icing as she cannot find a stick before the red line. 9 minutes into game one. Shots are 2-1, a tight game so far. Face-off will be inside the Lynx zone after the icing. McCaddy, MacArthur out there for this ozone draw for the Selects alongside the captain, Hallie Rose. That's going to be one to the wall. Brown battling for possession. Comes free at the line. Here's Dwaron. Dwaron will try and make it in deep, but that's going to come free and neutral ice. McIntyre will play it back towards the Lynx zone. Here's Vickers off the DD pass. Played through the middle. Picked off by McIntyre. Here comes Lexi McIntyre. She'll take a bump along the wall from Austin. Comes free from MacLean. Shot off the blocker. Rebound! It's in the blue paint area. Whacked away and in the skates. That's going to come free in the corner. Here's MacLean up top for Dwaron. Dwaron over to McIntyre. Here's Lexi McIntyre. Shot will be blocked. Chance the other way. Here come the Lynx. They might have numbers. There's McCackern. McCackern will shoot it towards the goal, but might have ran out of juice there as they were just caught on the icing. She'll head to the bench. Here's MacLean in her own corner. Hallie Rose MacLean up for Anna MacArthur. That's going to be kept in at the blue line. Here's McNeil over to Gabriel. Gabriel will work it in deep. Here's McIntyre looking to clear. Nice move to get by the defender. Here's Lexi McIntyre with a stretch pass and be picked off and sent right back into the zone by Mary Margaret MacLean. Selects have it. Here's Dwaron over to McIntyre. Up the wall. It's going to bounce off the stick of Vint. McIntyre gets it again. Over to Morrow. Here's Kate Morrow. She'll dump it in the zone. Here's Danny Ray McInnes for Cape Breton. She'll try and clear. It's going to be kept in at the line, sent back towards the zone. Mary Margaret MacLean has it now. She'll work it through center. Picked off. There's Boyle. Boyle drops it wide for Morrow. Morrow will chip it in deep. 9.25 to go here in the first in game one. That'll be cleared down the ice. Here's Carly Boyle in her own zone. Boyle trying to get by the forecheck. That'll be kept in. There's a bit of a contact there along the wall. Puck behind the net. Breton trying to get it free. That's going to be turned over. Here's Vickers up top. Vickers' shot will be tipped just wide off the stick of Landry, parked in front. Selects will take it the other way. That's going to be played to the opposite wall. Selects are changing. Here's Vickers looking to catch the Selects doing so. That's going to be sent down the ice. Picked up by Burris in her own end. Burris over to Connolly. Played to the middle of the ice for Martin. Martin will chip it in deep as Power finds it, and that will be covered up. With 8:28 to go, Sino score here at the Hector Arena in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Game 1 and 2 will be here in Pictou, while the series will shift to Cape Breton for games 3 and 4. Then the potential game 5 would be back here at the Hector Arena. So no scoring in the opening game. Great action so far, great atmosphere. That's going to be chipped off the glass. Cape Breton looking to clear. Here's Brown. It's going to be sent back into the zone, and Austin gets it right back. Here comes Layla Austin. She'll dance her way through the center of the ice. Picked off by the Selects. It's going to be worked to the center. Here comes Cape Breton. Nice move by Gabriel. She still has the puck. Shot will be blocked on its way through to the net. A rebound came loose in front. Chance! Just deflected wide. As Gabriel couldn't back that rebound, and that's going to be sent on net. Field makes a save with the shoulder. There's a chance in front. That will go through the crease. Here comes the Subway Selects as Tanner has the puck. Tanner will work it in deep. Here's Margaret MacLean. Nice move to get by Hallie Rose MacLean. As that will be played in the middle. Here's Andrews. Andrews will play it towards the goal. That will go wide in the corner. 7.5 to go in the first. There is McIntyre, played up the wall for MacArthur. And MacArthur up for Hallie Rose MacLean, gets a poke check off the puck. MacArthur gets it back, nice move. Here comes Anna MacArthur, stitches it off for MacLean. Comes free along the wall. There's McCaddy trying to get the puck loose in the O-zone, met there by 3 white jerseys. Here's MacArthur, as that'll be turned over. Andrews has the puck now. Here's Jayla Andrews, she'll work it in towards the select zone, picked up by McIntyre. Sent up ahead for MacArthur, but Vickers gets back on defense to prevent a scoring chance. Played up the boards. Played to the circle now. It's going to be turned over. Here's McCaddy. Up top. As Dwaron makes a move with the blue line, sends it back in deep. Comes free off the boards. That will be played up ahead. Here comes Ava Landry. Landry trying to work it in wide. 1-on-2 as she'll get nudged into the wall. 6.5 to go. Landry still has it in the O-zone. That will come free. Here's Fife Francis McDonald for the Selects, looking to get the puck out of her own zone. She'll take it back behind her net. Played up the boards. There's McCaddy. Another battle for the puck along the wall. You got to win the walls here in the playoffs. That's just how she goes. Here's Morel in neutral ice. She'll get poked out the puck. That's going to come free, but good hustle to get back with Danny Ray McInnes. There's a turnover. Here's Boyle. She'll work it in the zone and play it in deep. Not much possessions on the entries for either side. Just trying to get the puck behind the goal line. Here's a pass up for Morel. She'll go up the boards. Finds Julia Brown. Brown gets nudged off the puck on the back check from McLeod. No call on the play. I haven't seen a penalty yet in this game. That's going to be an icing call. .5:33 remaining. They just announced the 50-50 winner. As off the icing, we'll head back to the select zone. Puck dropped. Scrum face-off. Comes free for Cape Breton. There's McCachran. Play to the line. There's a DDD pass. Shot will be deflected on net and save made by Fields in the corner. Goes the rebound. As that will be sent down the ice. And that will be no icing on the play. Selects can make a change. As that's going to be played through the middle of the ice. Battle for the loose puck between McNeil and Connolly. It's going to be worked in deep. 5 minutes to go in the first period. Here come the Selects. Burris has it. Layla Burris through the middle. Makes the move. Goes wide. Shot with a still. Past the blocker's side and over the net. Good look there to open the scoring for the Northern Subway Selects. Here's Parach in her own zone. She'll move the puck up the ice. Here comes McCachran. She'll play it in deep and go for a change. Back to retrieve it is Ainsley Connolly. She'll work up the wall. Comes free from MacArthur right off the bench. Perfectly timed change there for Subway Selects. Here's Morel. Find her own net. Morel will try and find Parach streaking through center. That's going to be behind her on that pass, and that will be icing against Cape Breton. So 4:17 to go. Shots are 4-4. A very tight game so far. top line out there for the selects for this face-off after the icing. MacArthur, McCaddy, and MacLean. That will be won back by the Cape Breton. That's going to be chipped off the glass. No icing's the call. No, they will call it icing. McIntyre gets back in time. Despite the argument from the Lynx side. Face-off will be to the glove side this time of Power. No changes on either side. MacLean will take the face-off. As they'll take Crema out of the draw. In comes Angione from the wing. Puck is dropped. That's going to be rimmed around the wall. Lynx doing a great job in the face-off circle so far this evening. Flicked up ahead. Here comes Perach one-on-one. Will try and make a move, but poke checked away by Doiron. She has the puck behind her own net. Doiron up the wall. As McCaddy finds MacArthur. Here comes Anna MacArthur on the backhand, forehand, shot low, rebound, scores! Hallie Rose MacLean opens the scoring in game 1 off the rebound. The captain is the first goal scorer of round 2, and she draws first blood for the Northern Subway Selects here at the Hector Arena. Beautifully placed shot by Anna MacArthur looking to generate a rebound, and she did just that for Hallie Rose MacLean. And it is 1-0 here in game 1, 3:40 to go. So that puck will come free for Gritton. She'll work it into the zone. Gritton in towards the net. That'll be played to the line, comes free. Here's Austin. Up for Ava Landry. Here comes Ava Landry looking to respond for Cape Breton. Landry takes it wide of the corner. Well defended there behind the net by Boyle. Battle ensues behind the net. 3:10 to go in the first period here of game 1. That'll be chipped off the glass, and that will make its way inside the Lynx zone. Vickers gets there first for Cape Breton. She'll rim it around the wall looking for Brown on the opposite boards. Brown gets tangled up as that will be sent back in deep, picked off by Vickers. Here comes Jade Vickers through the center of the ice, makes a move. Vickers' shot will go into the glove of field, and there'll be no rebound. Face-off will be inside the select zone. Lynx looking to tie the game here late in the first. Shots now 6-5 in favor of the hometown selects. Puck dropped. Comes free out the face-off. That will be turned over. There's Lexi McIntyre. She'll advance the puck up the ice. Poke check will prevent a zone entry as Vickers plays up ahead. Here comes McNeil. McNeil goes wide in the near side wall. Takes it by the net. McNeil looking to set up on the offensive side. She'll drop it off for McCackern. Here's Danny Ray McInnes pinching from the blue line. Puck comes free. It's going to bounce over the stick of Avery McNeil. Here come the selects. There's McLeod. She'll play it towards the goal, but it's going to go off the stick of a Lynx on the way through. Here's Morrell. Up the boards, going to clear. Kept in by Hallie Rose MacLean. She'll make a move as she gets snugged off the puck. Here comes Morrell with it now for Cape Breton. Morrell will get the run line and send it in deep as MacArthur gives her a shove. Physicality ramping up here in game 1 as that will be off the stick of Gabriel into the selects bench. And that will be a whistle with 1:51 to go here in the opening frame of game number 1. Best of 5 series to determine the winner of Nova Scotia, who will represent the province at Atlantics later on this month in Eastern PEI. And of course the winner of the Atlantics will head to the SO Cup, the national championship, which will be in Moncton. So you don't got to go far to find the best hockey for U18 women's. It's all here in Atlantic, Canada. There's Gabriel. Pass to the middle. It's going to go off a skate. As there's a collision at center. Chipped up ahead. Here goes MacArthur with MacLean. MacArthur out to MacLean. Backhander! Scores! MacArthur with a beautiful pass and an even better finish by Hallie Rose. MacLean off the backhand, chips it by the goaltender. MacLean double dips here in Hector. What a performance from the Selects captain here in the opening frame. Hallie Rose is red hot. She has just doubled down to double the Selects lead. Here comes Landry the way, looking for a response for Cape Breton. Landry, Zabi worked in deep. There's a collision along the boards. Play to the line, kept in, or no, that's going to be offside. Here come the Selects, trying to work it in deep, picked off by Vickers. 70 seconds to go in the period. Here's Vickers, she'll make a play in deep and go for a change. Last minute of play as Burris gets tangled up behind the net. Burris looking to advance the puck, that's going to be played to the middle. As a collision at center ice, that's going to be a penalty against the Selects with 51 seconds to go. Morel draws the call. It will go against Marla Martin. Or sorry, that's Rogan Vint, number 18. So a chance for Cape Breton to cut this lead in half. Puck dropped inside the Select zone. Play to the line, here's Gabriel. Gabriel will work her way to the middle of the ice. Over to Vickers, here comes Vickers. Shot will be blocked in front. Play to the line again, here's Gabriel. She'll take the shot, play to the wall. That will make a nice pass over for Danny Ray McInnes. Her shot goes wide. And that will make its way to neutral ice. Here comes Richards, nice move. Richards on the breakaway, backhander, kept out. Rebound stopped as well. What a toe drag from Richards to free herself up short-handed. Great save from Power. There's Danny Ray McInnes. Her shot will go off a stick and out of play. Great back and forth action to start off game one. 12 seconds to go. 1:21 to go in the Lynx power play. They'll have a quick huddle towards their bench and get some advice from their head coach, Robin LeBlanc. McNeil against MacLean for the face-off to the glove side of Amy Field inside the Select zone. Puck is dropped. One to the corner. There's a collision behind the goal line on the far side wall. 5 seconds to go in the period. 2 and now 1, and that's going to do it. So Hallie Rose MacLean with 2 goals in the first. The only 2 goals of the frame. That's going to do it. After 20 minutes, Zamboni lit the ice for the intermission. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Nova Scotia Final Championship Series live from the Hector Arena in Pictou County. We'll be back after the break for period number 2. Welcome back inside the Hector Arena. It's 2-0 for the Northern Subway Selects after the first period. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Nova Scotia Finals. Best of 5 series. We're opening her up here in Pictou for Game 1. Allie Rose MacLean continues her outstanding career and playoffs. She had both goals for the Northern Selects in the first period. Both came off of assists from Anna MacArthur as they both continue to shine here in the postseason. The Lynx will have 1 minute and 9 seconds of power play time to start off the middle frame. And we are underway for the second period here at the Hector Arena. We announce the 50-50 winner. Here comes Vickers. She'll take it wide. Vickers trying to get by Dworon as Dworon will get the puck and send it towards the blue line. Kept in. Here's a pass for Angione. Angione will walk it down low. Here's a chance. Off the rebound. It's going to be covered up by Fields. Good look there off the opening shift for Cape Breton. As Amy Fields shuts the door, and it's quite loud on this side of the ice. As they'll calm things down a bit here. They'll kick out Andrews, or Angione rather. In comes Austin for the draw. As no, it has to be Landry who takes it, so they'll send her in. Puck is dropped. As that will make its way past the blue line. McGinnis forced to retreat in her own zone. Here's Danny Ray McGinnis over for Angione. That will miss her stick, and that will be sent down the ice. There's Vickers. As Vickers has the puck. Here comes Jade Vickers, makes a nice move. Vickers holding on to it on the corner now, looking to center out the stick. Rebound to be cleared away by Fields. Vickers up top to the line. Gabriel goes over for a pass in front. Rebound goes through the blue paint. As Austin nearly redirected that one to make it a 2-1 score. We're back to 5-on-5. Selects kill it off. There's MacLean. She had 2 goals in the first. She'll get nudged out the puck. Comes free. Here comes Ava Landry with it. 2-on-2. Landry drops it off from McEachern. Back for Landry is good defensive stick by Boyle to defend the Lynx top scorer, Landry. She'll peel off for a change. There's Boyle. Up for Hallie Rose MacLean. Here come the Selects. MacLean takes it wide. Back to the line. There's a shot from Boyle. That will be stopped by Power, and that will freeze play. MacLean's line will stay out there for this ozone draw. McNeil will oppose her at the faceoff dot. Puck hits the ice. Lynx win it in their own zone. They've been great on the draws tonight. Morel. She'll skate the puck up the ice. She'll get hit off the puck in the corner. Physical start here in game 1. Here's McEachern. She'll rim it around the wall. Comes free for the Subway Selects. That's going to be cleared down the ice. And that will be icing. So the Selects can't change. The Lynx will send out some fresh troops. McGinnis, Cremo, Baruch, Angione, and Morel, the 5 out there for Cape Breton for this ozone draw. It's going to be 1 back for the Selects. Rimmed around the wall, looking to clear the zone, and that will get past the defender at the blue line. There's Danny Ray McGinnis. She'll go D-to-D looking for Morel. That's going to miss her stick. Is MacLean back out there. There's MacArthur. And MacArthur will chip it in deep looking for MacLean. As the Lynx looking to clear out of their own zone. Comes free at the line, kept in. And picked up. Here is Morel. Olivia Morel will skate through center, drops it off. Here's Cremau's shot will be stopped by Field. No rebound. Amy Field has been dynamite so far, and not giving up any rebounds at all. No secondary opportunities. As the Landry line will head back out there with Austin and Lawan and Andrews and Vickers. Another ozone chance for Cape Breton, looking to dig into this lead. As that will make its way to the blue line. Kept in by Lawan for a moment, as that will be chipped up free and neutral ice. Here come the selects. There's a shot out the rush, will go out the blocker of Power and wide in the corner. Battle ensues along the wall. As spinning and firing that towards the zone was Richards. Turned over. His Landry shot will go low and wide as Landry gets a rebound chance. Sent on goal. Rebound to the blue paint. They're still trying to whack it free. Comes free behind the net. Player taken down, and that will be a penalty against Cape Breton behind the net in the offensive zone. Tripping's the call. Will go against Austin. Number 17 for Cape Breton, and the selects out of the player advantage, looking to take a 3-0 lead here in game one. McIntyre, Dwaron, MacLean, MacArthur, and Layla Burris out there on the power play. Puck dropped. One back for McIntyre. McIntyre up top for Dwaron. Dwaron will switch spots with McIntyre, puts the brakes on. Back towards the middle is Dwaron. Over to Hallie Rose MacLean on the half wall, looking for the hat-trick goal. Here's Dwaron. Over to McIntyre. McIntyre pass across, looking for the stick of the captain MacLean, but could not find it. As Hallie played to the half wall. Here's MacArthur, nice move. Here's Anna MacArthur, shot low, rebound, scores! Layla Burris on the power play. Another assist for MacArthur. And it is now 3-0 for the Subway Selects here at home. Does not take long for that power play to strike. As I just got word that over at the Pictou County Wellness Center, the U18 boys Weeks just defeated the Dartmouth Steel Subaru to advance to the Phil Hare Cup Finals. So lots of great hockey here in Pictou. Here's Morel. She'll work it in deep. Here's a pass towards the goal. As MacArthur has 3 assists tonight already. 100% of the scoring has come off of her stick. As that will be offside. Just past the 4-minute mark. As they'll drop the puck right in front of the Selects bench on neutral ice. One back by Cape Breton. Here's a DD pass. As Morel works it up for McCackburn. She'll chip it in deep. Back to retrieve it as Boyle. Rimmed up the boards. That will go off the stick of McNeil. Comes free. Here comes Chisholm. Chisholm will drop it off. Shot off the blocker. Nice save from Power and tight. As there's a battle in the corner. Selects have it in the O-zone. Put it to the line. That will get past Brenton patrolling the blue paint. Dumped in. There's Morel. Olivia Morel looking to spark some offense for Cape Breton here in game one. As that'll be picked off a skate. There's Burris. Sent through the middle as that's going to be intercepted. Worked up ahead. Paruch will chip it in deep. Back to retrieve it is Connolly. Here come the Selects. Nice move at center ice by Richards. That'll be dumped in by Fife Francis McDonald. We're past the 5-minute mark of the second period. That'll be worked in deep. Here's Martin. As that'll come free in front, but poked away. With a chance on the blue lines, that will go wide. With a wraparound chance kept out by Power at the pad. As it's been seemingly all Selects here in the second. Vickers looking to stretch a pass down the ice. That'll make its way on net and field. Will cover up. And that will stop play. 14-14 on the clock remaining in the second period. Shots 13-11 in favor of the Northern Selects here at home. MacLean against Austin for the face-off. That's going to come free. Gabriel will poke it back towards the zone. This is Dwaron. She'll go down low for McIntyre, picked off. Here's Landry. As Lawan looking to make a play. Up for Gabriel, back for Lawan on the half wall. Lawan looking to work it down low. Still has the puck in the circle. Over to Landry. Here's Ava Landry. Shot through the screen, but gloved down by Fields. And there'll be no rebound once again from the Selects goalie. Same 5 on each side will stay out there for this face-off. MacLean against Austin for the face-off. Once again, it's going to be one back by the Selects in their own zone. Nice chip played through the center, looking to spring MacLean. McCaddy nearly made a beautiful pass as McIntyre will try and chip it in deep. Here's Austin, up for Gabriel. Gabriel plays it over for MacLean. That's Mary Margaret MacLean. As Austin up for Landry. Hallie Rose MacLean will take over the neutral ice. She has a pair of goals so far in this game. Here comes MacLean, nice move, saws the puck, shot! Will go off a body and wide. How about Hallie Rose in this opening game of the series? She's been dynamite out there on the offensive side. She had a great round one as well. As Gabriel will skate the puck up the ice. She'll get the red line and work it in deep. Off the dump in. 7 minutes have gone here in the second period. Here comes Britton. Britton up for Vince. Vince through the center of the ice, going to drop it off as that will come free. Morel will take over. Olivia Morel works it through the middle. It's going to be picked off at the red line by the Selects. Here comes Richards. She'll work it in deep. Met there by 2 white jerseys as her teammates are changing. Here's Danny Ray McInnes. Over to McCachran. She finds Brown. Brown can't give by the defender a neutral ice. That was Carly Boyle. There's Angione in the corner. Angione will play it down low, looking for a cycle pass. There's another scrum behind the net of Fields. 2-on-2 down low. They're still trying to work it free. And eventually they will blow it down. Approaching the 8-minute mark of the second. 3-0 for the Subway Selects. Angione, Peruch, and Cremo out there for the zone draw. For Cape Breton looking to get back into this game. They're down by 3. It's going to be one back by the Subway Selects. There's Tanner. Turned over. Angione will try and chip it in deep off a body. Here come the Selects now. Here comes Tanner. She'll work it in deep, looking to center it off the pad of Power. As that will be worked through center. There is Layla Burris. She'll play it in deep. Burris scored on the power play to make it 3-0 a few moments ago. That will be chipped towards the Select zone as MacLean looking for the puck. She'll get the pass. MacLean will make a nice move and shoot one, stopped by Power. No rebound. As Hallie Rose has the hot stick tonight. Beautiful drop pass from McCaddy. This line has been excellent so far in this game. MacArthur, McCaddy, and MacLean, Triple M line, 3M, whatever you want to call it. It's been working. Bit of a delay here before the face-off. Puck is dropped. One back. There's Dwaron over to McIntyre. McIntyre back for Dwaron up top. Dwaron at the blue line will work it in deep. Finds McCaddy. McCaddy finds MacArthur down low over to MacLean. Here's Hallie Rose. MacLean looking to wrap it through. It will go off the side of the net. So here comes Lawan the other way for Cape Breton. Lawan will play it in the opposite corner and go for a change. Dwaron back to retrieve it. There's Carey Dwaron over to McIntyre. Up for McCaddy. Here comes the Northern Subway Selects. McCaddy looking up ahead for Hallie Rose. MacLean, that's going to bounce off of her stick. Comes free behind the net. Here's MacArthur looking to play it ahead. Up to the line. It's going to be picked off. Here comes McEachran for Cape Breton. McEachran can't get by McIntyre. Good stick for number 7 in blue. Prevents a clean zone entry. That's going to be played in deep as the top line for the Selects will peel off for a change. As there's a pass through center. It's going to be picked off and sent in deep by Grinton. Chance for Morel to clear. Should go up the wall. Wants to stick of McEachran. McEachran will go cross ice looking for Brown. As that'll be played back into the zone by the Selects. We're halfway through regulation. 10 minutes have come and gone in the second. 2-0 lead for the Northern Subway Selects here in game 1. Here's Richards. Play to the line. Here's a shot from distance that's going to be tipped wide on the net with a high stick. And that will be nullified. Here's McEachran again. McEachran up for Brown. Brown, 1-on-4, will lose the puck. There's McLeod the other way. Evelyn McLeod will work it in. Shot will go off the body and over the net. Comes free out of the corner. There's a pass towards the goal off the stick. Comes free. There's a point shot from Burris. That will be blocked. 9:15 to go in the second. That's going to be rimmed around the wall. Good forecheck by Fife Francis McDonald. That'll free up the puck down low. As played back in deep. Chance to clear for Cape Breton. Kept in. There's Burris. Shot on from Conley up the DDD. That's going to be blocked. Chance the other way. Here comes Jade Vickers with the puck. Vickers will play it in deep and go for a change. Here comes Burris. And that will be picked off at the red line. And they're trying to dig it off the wall. Battle ensues in front of the Selects bench. As Conley will find it and chip it up towards the Cape Breton zone. Sent in deep. Back to retrieve it is Mary Margaret MacLean. She'll go through the center of the ice. That will take a funny hop on its way to Lewan's stick, and that will be icing. 8:18 to go. As you can see, the Cape Breton side of the crowd in full force here this afternoon. Trying to get their team back in this game. Puck is dropped. DD pass finds McIntyre. McIntyre's shot will be stopped by Power. And there'll be no rebound from number 31. Power faced 115 shots in round 1 over 4 games. She averaged 1.15 goals against in 4 games, so you gotta give a lot of credit to her to get her team to this point. Here comes Cape Breton. There's a stretch pass for Landry. Ava Landry on the backhand. Can't finish it off. That's going to be a penalty. Will it be a penalty shot? Let's see what the signal is. Referee arm up in the corner, and that will be a hooking call, so no penalty shot. But it will be a Lynx power play. A little bit of a confusion here. Landry looking for a penalty shot call. So, Lynx sent out their power play unit. Vickers, Lewan, McNeil, McEachran, and McInnes out there. Looking to get Cape Breton back in this game. That's going to be cleared down the ice. There's McInnes, takes the pass from Power, her goaltender. Played up for Vickers, as that will miss the stick of Vickers and be played back towards the Cape Breton zone. Good forecheck on the penalty kill from Richards, as that will be sent in deep. 7.5 to go in the second. Chance for the Selects to clear. It's going to be kept in for a moment. Here's Gritton. Gritton will fire it down the ice. McInnes finds it. Find her own net. She'll look to restart here on the power play for Cape Breton. She finds Vickers. Vickers enters the zone. Still has the puck. Shot will go in the glove of field. There'll be no rebound. Cape Breton will make a few changes. Gabriel, Landry, Angione, Austin. And they need one more player out there. So they'll keep McEachran out there. 7:04 to go in the second. Puck dropped. 1:09 to go on the power play. Here's Gabriel over to Landry, who drew the penalty. Gabriel gets the pass back. Shotley blocked. Rebound comes free for Angione on the half wall. She'll cycle it for McEachran. McEachran back for Angione. Angione back down low. It's going to come free for Dwaron. Dwaron with a chance to clear. That's going to be kept in by Landry. She'll take a shovel on the wall, and that will be sent down the ice. Here's Gabriel as the crowd's piling in here for the Hector. I'd say it's close to capacity. Here's Angione. Angione looking to work it through the center. That's going to go off a stick in the slot. Comes free for Richards. Richards will power the puck out of the zone on the penalty kill. Nice escape move from Gabriel on their own blue line. She finds Cremo. Cremo drops it off for Angione. Angione over across. That'll be intercepted as the Lynx are trying to force those passes through the middle of the ice, and Selects are ready for it. DD pass. Here's Burris. Burris will spin and fire it down the ice, and that will do it for the power play. Back to 5 apiece. Selects kill it off. Still 3-0 here in Hector. Here's Cremo with it now. Has Brown with her. Cremo will shoot towards the goal. Hits a body. Comes free for Brown. Brown looking to center it. That's going to be off a stick. Rebound is there in the slot, and that will be played with a hand pass. That will stop play. 5.5 to go in the second. Selects up by 3 here in Pictou. Face-off will be in neutral ice. McNeil will win it back. There's Morrell up the wall as McIntyre finds in her own zone. McIntyre over to Dwaron. Dwaron trying to work it up ahead. It's going to be off a skate. Lynx have it in the O-zone. McNeil up for Vickers. Vickers shotly blocked unintentionally by Lewan with her skate. Lewan plays it down low looking for Brown. McNeil digs it out of the corner. McNeil takes a hit along the wall. Who said there's no hitting in girls hockey? Here's Brown up to the middle for Lewan. Lewan couldn't pull the trigger. That'll be cleared down the ice. Foot race for the puck. Looks like Vickers will get there first. Vickers will go up the wall on her forehand as her teammates are changing. Dwaron finds it and will play it in deep. There's Lewan. That pass will go through her stick. Here comes Peruch. Shot! Rebound! Will just go in the corner. Nice job from Peruch to shoot one low off the pad, trying to generate a rebound, but Cremo had that bounce off for her stick. Looking for the secondary opportunity as Angione couldn't get loose. There's might have been a hook there on the play, but we'll play on. Sent in deep. Here's Lexi McIntyre, the Team Atlantic defense person. Will work into the blue line. Peruch will play it back in deep. Cremo finds it. Cremo looking to center it. That's going to go off a skate. Here's Hallie Rose McLean. She'll take a body contact and she'll spin it back for McIntyre. McIntyre and McLean both represented Team Atlantic at the Nationals over in Mount Pearl a few months ago. They won silver for the first time ever for Team Atlantic. There's Hallie Rose. McLean makes a nice move, but she'll dump it in. There is Cape Breton now with it. Gabriel through the middle. That's going to be picked off by Burris and off the stick of MacArthur. Here's Anna MacArthur with 3 assists so far tonight. Oh, the shot go. That will go off the blocker and into the corner. Here's MacArthur again. She'll try and cycle it for Hallie Rose. 3.5 to go in the second. A lot of energy on the Cape Breton side still. Here's MacArthur over to Dwan. Shot will go off a body. Rebounds there. MacArthur. That will be blocked in front. Good look there for number 16, looking to get her first goal of the game. She has all 3 assists so far. Here's Burris. Layla Burris will take it wide. Comes free off a turnover. as Brown will poke it into the zone. 3 minutes to go in the second. Here's Richards. Sean Richards having a great game so far for Selects. Will make a nice move through center in the skates of Brown. Lawan will poke it free. Lawan will advance the puck toward the Select zone. Brown on the forward check looking to get it loose for Cape Breton. Selects regain possession. Nice toe drag by McDonald. Here's McLeod. She'll go off the boards. Comes free. Sent back towards Select's end by Andrews. Here's Gritton. She'll dump it in. That will go off a stick, and Power will play to the corner. Rimmed around the boards. Here's Vickers. Jade Vickers from behind her own net will lead the rush for Cape Breton. Here's Angione. Angione will flick it towards the boards. McIntyre has it. McIntyre will drag and shoot one. That's going to go off a stick. 2 minutes to go now in the second. Puck in the corner. Beauty pass. Here's a shot from the line. That will be off the glove of Power and in the corner. Puck is bouncing in the blue paint, and that will be covered up by the Lynx netminder with 1:45 to go. Cape Breton went 18-20-2 in the regular season. Selects went 31-9. Cape Breton finished as the 6th seed overall in the league. They upset the Lindsay Surge in round 1 in 4 games in that best-of-5 series. They're looking to continue their Cinderella run here in round 2 and become the Nova Scotia champions for the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League. Puck is dropped inside the Lynx zone. Here's McIntyre. She'll work it back in deep. Comes free. There's McEachran. That will bounce over a stick of Morel. Morel will try and play to the wall for Peruch. There's a battle along the boards. Comes free at the line. Sent towards the goal. Blocked. Here's Cremo with 1.5 to go in the second. Cremo down low from McEachran. That will be cycled up the boards, but nobody was home to collect the puck for the Lynx. Comes free. Played towards the middle. As the Lux have it, that's going to be dumped into the zone by Morrow. Power will play it up for McGinnis. As we're in the last minute of play now in the second. Here comes Danny Ray McGinnis. She'll work it around the wall. Field will leave it behind the net. Here's Layla Burris. Has the goal in this period. Burris will rush the puck up the ice. Finds McLean. Here's Hallie Rose McLean. Shot! Scores! And there's the hat trick. Hallie Rose has 3 goals tonight. What a performance from the Subway Selects captain, Hallie Rose McLean. Hat-trick goal. And it is 4-0 here in Pictou. Puck is dropped as they announce the goal. And that will be played on net from the line. So McLean from Burris with 45 seconds to go. That'll be worked to the center of the ice. Sent back towards the Cape Breton end. Here's Gabriel. Gabriel will try and work it in deep. That's going to go off a body, and that will hit a stick and go into the netting and out of play. 10.5 on the clock here in the second. Hallie Rose McLean just completed the hat trick. She has been dynamite throughout her entire career as she'll head back out there for this defensive zone faceoff. So, reliable on both sides of the ice. So they'll drop the puck. One in the corner. There is McEachran looking to work it towards the goal. Shot on, stopped by Field with the glove. Nice power move by Avery McNeil. She got that one on net, but failed with the glove. Keeps it 4-0. .3 on the clock. Puck dropped. And that will be clear to center, and that's going to do it for the second period. So it's 4-0 for the Northern Selects. 3 of those goals came from Hallie Rose MacLean, the captain. Layla Burris also got on the board. We'll head to the break now. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League playoffs on High Button Sports. Third period coming up after the break. again. Welcome back for the third period of play. You're watching Game 1 of the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Nova Scotia Finals here in Pictou, Nova Scotia. It's the Selects who hold a 4-0 lead after 40 minutes. Hallie Rose MacLean, what else can you say about her? Number 13 in blue has 3 of those goals, hat-trick performance. She has definitely risen to the occasion here in Game 1. She has been the leader throughout her whole entire career here in Pictou. That's going to be an offside call just 7 seconds into the period. Anna MacArthur, 3 assists on the afternoon, while Layla Burris has the other goal for the Subway Selects. That's going to be dropped in neutral ice right in front of the camera here on the Cape Breton side of the crowd. There's Gabriel, knocked out the puck by MacArthur, comes free for Austin. Lynx looking to get back into this game. They're down by 4. Shots are 19-15 in favor of the home team. There's a chance. That's going to be stopped by Field, point blank. An early test for Field here in the third. As you know, Cape Breton will come out buzzing here, looking to get back in this game as Lawan will steer it towards the corner on the dump in. Good opening shift for Cape Breton, just 45 seconds in. Here's the captain, MacLean, show into the zone and shoot one. That'll go off the body, rebound cleared away by Cape Breton. There's a pass through center that will miss everybody, but that'll hit a stick of a Select on the way down, so no icing. Here's Gritton. Gritton will turn over in front, that's going to be shot on and stop made by Field, point blank. A couple of good saves from Field to start the period. There's a chance the other way. Centering pass will go off a stick. Good back check from the Lynx. From Avery McNeil. There's a collision behind the play. That's going to draw a penalty. Body contact's the call. It will go against Morrow. A minute and 20 seconds into the third. It'll be a Lynx power play. They're down by 4 goals, looking to get themselves back within striking distance. Remo, Landry, Gabriel, Austin, and Angione will be the 5 out there for the Lynx. Puck is dropped. Comes free along the wall. Chance for the Selects to clear. Here's Gritton. Gritton will get the puck past the blue line. Chance the other way. Short-handed for the Selects. As McCaddy will be defended off the puck. Good back check from the Lynx. Here comes Gabriel. Gabriel will go skate the stick through center. Nice move, but we'll have to drop it off of the blue line. Austin will regroup in the neutral zone. Austin towards the wall. That will be sent in deep. Chance for the Selects to clear. Kept in. Here's Brown. Landry has the puck. Landry will get taken down. Puck comes free at the line. Gabriel, nice move. Enters the zone on the left side. That will be cleared past Landry. There is Ava Landry. She'll restart the rush for Cape Breton. Shot will go off the shin pad of Boyle into the corner. 1 minute has gone on the power play. That will be cleared down by Selects once again. Defending home ice well of the Northern Subway Selects. Of course, these are the 2 most northern teams from Nova Scotia in the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League. Of course, the league covers New Brunswick and PEI as well. The winners of each province after the playoff series will meet in the Atlantics, hosted by the Eastern Stars. And then the winner of that will represent the Atlantic portion of Canada at the National Championship called the SO Cup, which will be hosted by the Moncton Rockets. That will make its way in deep. That's going to be a penalty on the play. Big collision behind the net on the forecheck. As Hillary Lawan will head to the box. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 13 seconds. Body contact is the call. Doron, McIntyre, MacLean and MacArthur will head out there against Cremo, Gabriel, MacLean, and Parach. 4-on-4 for the next 8 seconds, and it'll be a Selects power play. Here's MacArthur with 3 assists on the evening. She'll get pinned to the wall. As we're now back to, it will be a 5-on-4 now. Sears Burris joining the power play. She has a power play goal tonight. Shot will go over the net. Dwan let one rip. That hit a stick on the way through. Here's McIntyre. Will drop it off. Here's MacArthur. Nice few moves on the half wall. MacArthur up top for Dwan. Dwan plays it over for McIntyre. Pass across. One-timer. MacLean looking for her 4th of the game. Cannot pull the trigger on that one cleanly. Here's Dwan over to McIntyre. Back up top for Dwan. Dwan over to MacLean. One-timer. Just goes past the post. Couple good looks there from the Selects captain. Here is Dwan over to McIntyre. McIntyre shot, rebound, scores! MacLean, once again, she has 4 tonight. What else can you say about Hallie Rose MacLean? What a performance in game 1. 4 goals. And it is now 5-0. Great start here in game 1 from the Northern Subway Selects. Hallie Rose MacLean, 4 bingos. What a performance. What a career for the Syracuse commitment. That's going to be worked up the wall. Landry will cause a turnover. Puck is bouncing, cleared out of the zone. Here's Danny Ray McGinnis. She'll flick it through center. Puck is bouncing. McGinnis, as Landry finds it. There's Ava Landry through the middle. Make a nice move. Landry on the forehand will play it through the slot, looking to set up a teammate there, but couldn't get that pass through as Austin was all alone in front. Here is Layla Austin. Over to Vickers. Pass to the center. Will go off a skate. Morel back to retrieve it. Morel will cycle it back for Vickers behind the net. Here's Jade Vickers. Had a great regular season. Was up there, the top scoring defense in the league overall. That's going to be an icing call just past the 5-minute mark of the 3rd period. It's a 5-0 lead for Northern Subway Selects. Hallie Rose MacLean has 4 of those goals. She just scored on the power play to extend the lead. As they'll kick out Austin from the faceoff, and comes Brown. Puck dropped. One back to the line for McIntyre. McIntyre to the half wall. Centering pass will come free. There's a shot. Will be stopped. Rebound covered up by Power. Couple good looks from Mila Martin, number 10, for the Selects. As she'll stay out there alongside Morrow and Vint, with Duaron and McIntyre on the blue line. Lynx will make changes in the D zone. One back. Vickers will float up the wall. Brown looking to dig it loose. Comes free for Vint. Here's Rogan. Vint shot from distance to be blocked down by Power. There's Vickers. Nice move in front of her own net. Jade Vickers will lead the rush for Cape Breton. Vickers still has it. Enters the zone. Goes wide. Jade Vickers shot off the pad. Rebound! Just goes wide. Good look there for Cape Breton, but couldn't get one past field. Here come the Selects the other way. MacArthur fans on the pass. That will come free. Chance for Angione. Angione will shoot one, but blocked. Good defensive effort by the Selects. They've been doing a good job of blocking shots all evening long. There's another one blocked in front. That'll work its way to the opposite wall. 6 minutes have gone here in the 3rd. Battle along the boards. Inside the Select zone of the blocker corner of Fields. That'll come free. Here's Dwaron. We'll play it over, and that's going to be dumped in by Vint at the end of her shift. Here's Mary Margaret MacLean looking to spring a pass that will make its way all the way down the ice. Good hustle from Peruch to beat out the icing. Lewan plays it up top for Gabriel. That's going to come free from MacArthur and poke back in the zone. Here's Layla Burris. She'll cycle it up the boards. CDD pass for Connolly. Connolly up ahead looking for MacArthur. It's going to be kept in by Gabriel. Here's Kremel. That's going to be offside, which will stop play. With 13:06 to go in the third. It's been all selects here this evening. MacLean back out there with MacArthur and McCaddy. Puck dropped. One back as McGinnis will find it and send it in deep. 7 minutes have gone now in the third. There's Burris. As that puck will bounce behind the net. Chipped off the glass by the selects. There's McCaddy looking up ahead for MacArthur. That's going to be intercepted. As MacLean will get a stick on it. Plays it back. There's MacArthur. As Austin will dig it loose. Layla Austin will circle back towards her own zone. Selects regain possession. Here comes MacLean. That should be met and neutralized by McGinnis. Battle ensues along the boards. Comes free for Cape Breton. Here's Morrell. Kept in the zone. Here's MacArthur. Nice move. Anna MacArthur towards the goal. MacLean looking for goal number 5 in front, but couldn't get the pass. Here's MacLean again. Shot will go off the blocker. Rebound covered up by Power. Hallie Rose MacLean has been all over the puck tonight. She almost scored again for her 5th goal. But Power shuts the door this time. Richards will take the face off. Puck is dropped. One back. There's a shot from distance. That will hit a body on its way through. There's Fife Francis McDonald. Down low. McLeod finds it back towards the middle. Picked off. Here comes Julia Brown for Cape Breton. Brown through center will shoot one. It's going to be off a shin pad. She gets taken down from the back check. Played up the wall. Here come the selects. Might be a 2-on-1. Here's Richards. Richards looking for McLeod towards the goal, stopped by Power. Comes free at the blue line. Here's Francis McDonald. There's a collision in the corner. 11 and a half to go now in the third. Back to the line. Here's Gritton. Gritton to the boards. Shot will be deflected and blocked in front. As Chisholm got a stick on that one. There's Andrews. Andrews looking to get by the forecheck. There's a penalty on the play. It'll go against Cape Breton. Andrews out of the box. Out comes the Selects power play. 2 for 2 so far this evening. McIntyre, Dwaron will stay out there with Martin, Chisholm, and Tanner. Puck dropped. One back to the line here is Dwaron. Dwaron plays it over for Chisholm. Back up top for Dwaron. Dwaron back for Chisholm on the half wall. Chisholm will play it across for McIntyre. McIntyre's shot will go off a stick and over the net. Comes free in the corner. There's a collision along the wall. Body's flying down on the ice. Comes free behind the net for the Lynx, and they will clear it down the ice. There's Dwaron behind their own net. As Austin in on the forecheck, causing a stir. That puck will bounce towards the blue line. Austin couldn't corral it. Here comes McIntyre up ahead. Here's Hallie Rose MacLean. MacLean takes it wide. MacLean towards, and a pass in front. Burris couldn't finish it off, and rebound comes loose, and they score again. Layla Burris puts home the rebound, and it is now 6-0. Another point for Hallie Rose MacLean. She let the original shot go, and rebound came loose out the pad. So it is now 6-0 here in game 1. Hallie Rose MacLean gets her 5th point of the game. Burris gets her second bingo. Another power play goal for Selects. 3 for 3 in this game. Here comes Cremo the other way. Cremo will try and work it in deep. That will be poked off for her stick. Cremo defended against Gritton. As that'll make its way towards the goal, and that will be covered up by Field. So we're now inside the final 10 minutes of regulation. Puck will be dropped to the blocker side of Field. One back to the line for Cape Breton, and that will just bounce out of the zone. Cape Breton has not got many bounces to go their way this game. Here is Morrow. Shot, scores! Morrow gets the goal. Now make it 7. Shot from distance. Beats the Lynx netminder. And that is now 7-0. So a big lead here in game 1. MacLean will take the face-off against McNeil. Puck dropped. As that'll be sent in deep by Burris. So Morrow gets the goal, as you can hear from the goal announcement there. 2 quick ones for the Selects. They have taken complete control of this game. There's MacLean. MacLean will get poked off the puck by McNeil. There's MacArthur, down low for MacLean. Hallie Rose MacLean looking to center it as she gets defended off the puck. As that'll be picked off and sent back in deep by Connolly. MacLean will get back on side. There's Brown, turned over. MacArthur has it. Anna MacArthur gets by McNeil. MacArthur chipped off the boards. Brown finds it. Brown to the middle, off the skate of McCackern, kept in. There's a shot that will go off the stick of Power into the corner. Andrews loses it. Comes free. Here comes Cape Breton. That will be played in the zone. And that will be icing. They cannot quite get the red line there before dumping it down. Face off inside the Cape Breton zone. Puck is dropped. Going to come free for the Selects. Play to the line. Here's Dwaron. Over to McIntyre. McIntyre will walk in and shoot one low. This goes past the glove side and wide. Here's Dwaron again. Play the boards. Fight Francis McDonald. Back for Dwaron. Dwaron shotly blocked. Brown looking to clear. Just out of the reach of McEachran and played back in deep by McIntyre. Has had a great game on the blue line. Not necessarily super flashy in the offensive design, but she's been keeping pucks in and doing a great job making that first pass. Here's McIntyre. Will circle back. DD pass. But up the boards as MacLean will find it for Cape Breton and send it back in deep. That's going to be played in behind the net. Kept in at the line by MacLean for Cape Breton, but quickly turned over. As there's a collision between 2 Lynx at center. There's McIntyre. She'll get nudged off the puck. MacLean will get the red line and send it in deep for Cape Breton as they'll go for a change. Here's McIntyre. Good forecheck will clear at the puck for a moment. McIntyre falls down, makes the play up the wall. Battle ensues for the biscuit on the boards. That pass will bounce off the stick of Tanner. Chipped up ahead and sent back in deep by Boyle. 7 minutes to go now in the third. 7-0 is the score as well. Selects have it down low. There's Chisholm. Chisholm gets taken down with a hit from Gabriel. And that will be touched up and whistled down. Penalty coming up. 6:43 to go. Gabriel head of the box for boarding. Another chance for the Selects power play, which is 3 for 3 this game. Breton will stay out there with Boyle, Richards, Tanner, and Chisholm. Puck dropped. That will get past the blue line and down the ice as well. Boyle back to retrieve it. Over to Gritton. Back for Boyle. Boyle up for Sean Richards, who's had a sneaky good game on the defensive side of the puck. Here's Richard through the middle. There's a chance in front for Chisholm. Shot, rebound, kept out. That puck is still loose. Vickers battling down low with Richards. Vickers wins the battle. And that will be cleared down the ice. That will hit a body in front, and watch out here. Here we go. Bit of a Donnybrook in front of the net. Punches are being thrown. And they're still going at it along the ice. Bit of a dust up in front of Powers' crease, and there's a broken cage. And there's a few fans getting kicked out. And quite an atmosphere here in game one. I've never seen a fight like that in a girls hockey game. And we'll take a quick break here as we try and sort out those penalties. We'll see you in a few moments. Welcome back here in Hector. Bit of a brouhaha there in front of the net. 2 ejections. So Tanner gets the gate. Both sides kicked out. It'll be a power play for the Selects after all that. And that was a legit scrap, and like both teams were throwing punches. It's pretty interesting to see. Obviously a lot of frustration on the Cape Breton side. They're down by 7 here in game 1, looking to spark some energy back on their side. Here's a shot from distance, gonna go off the body of field. So 5.5 to go. That'll be cleared down the ice. Pass to the center will be picked off. Here come the Selects. That's going to be worked into the zone. There's Morel. There's a battle behind the net. Comes free for Cape Breton. That's going to be cleared down the ice. Hallie Rose MacLean, the last player back for the Selects, looking to get the puck. That'll be worked up for Grinton. MacArthur finds it. MacArthur drops it off. Here comes Hallie Rose MacLean with 4 goals on the evening. Looking for 5. Here's MacLean. Nice move to enter the zone. Played a little line for Dworon. Dworon down low. Finds MacLean. As we're back to 5-on-5. There's a turnover. Shot, scores! Ella Grinton makes it 8-0. What a performance from the Selects, as they didn't get the power play goal there, but it came at the tail end of the player advantage. So 8-0 is the score. Puck dropped. There's Andrews, Oda Vickers. Jade Vickers has the puck up for Brown. Brown will try and work it in deep. Oh, will come free the other way. As MacLean gets another assist, so make that 6 points for Hallie Rose. 4 goals, 2 assists. What a game, number 13 in blue. Here's Vickers looking to retrieve the puck behind her own net. Jade Vickers with 4 minutes to go now in the third. 8-0 for the Selects. There's Vickers. Vickers goes wide, looking to get that one on net. That will hit a body on the way through. Out on the corner. As that'll be kept in. There's a pass in front. One-timer kept out by Field as that shot was fanned on in front. Here's Vickers up top, over across. One-timer, Danny Ray McInnes. Deflected wide over the net by McNeil. That'll be sent down the ice. And on the forecheck is Martin. Vickers finds it in the corner. Vickers looking to play it through the center. Brown finds it. Brown up ahead. That'll be turned over. Lynx get it back. Here's Gabriel. Over to Morel. Morel will get it in deep. There's a turnover. Puck in front. That will miss the stick. Comes through up top. Morel shot low. Deflected just wide. 3 minutes to go now in the third. Here comes Chisholm. Chisholm will work it in deep. Gabriel finds it. Gabriel back down low. Comes free up for Connolly. Connolly will work it back in deep. Gabriel up for Landry. One touch pass will miss Lawant. As that will be chipped to the wall. Kept in. Sent back in deep. 2.5 to go now. Gabriel will poke it ahead. Morel looking for it. It's going to come free. Played back in deep. Lynx looking to clear the zone. They get the puck back. Here's Morel. Olivia Morel up ahead. Here comes Ava Landry. Landry can't get by the defensive stick from Boyle. And that will be cleared down the ice for an icing call. With 2:06 to go. (32 to 21 of the shots for the Selects as a one-timer scores. The Lynx get on the board. There goes a shutout for Fields. Looks like it will be Danny Ray McInnes' goal. And they'll head right to center. So it's now 8-1. Lynx finally get one after 8 unanswered goals from the Selects. Danny Ray McInnes from the blue line finds the twine. 2 minutes to go now. There's Andrews looking up ahead as that'll be picked off at center, sent back in the Lynx zone. There's Paruch as they announce the goal here in Hector. There's a turnover. 1.5 to go now in this one. Here's Richards. Clear to the line, shot from distance, blocked in front by Andrews. That's going to be cleared down the ice, and that will be an icing call with 1:18 to go. So it looks like the Selects will win game 1. 4 goals and 2 assists for Hallie Rose MacLean. What a performance from the Selects captain. 3 assists for Ann MacArthur. 2 goals for Layla Burris. An offensive outburst, I guess you can say, for the Selects. There's a chance towards the goal. It's going to go off a skate and wide in the corner. There's a pass to the blue line. There's Burris again. Shot will go off a skate. Rebound. Scores. Fife Francis McDonald finds a loose puck, and that will make it 9-1 with 1 minute and 1 second to go. So if it wasn't a sure thing, it definitely is now. We'll play out the last 61 seconds here in Hector. Game 2 will be tomorrow at 12:30. Last minute of play now. Fife Francis McDonald just made it 9-1. Burris gets another point. 34 seconds to go. Here's Vickers. Plays it back for Morrell. Back for Vickers. It's by McDonald. That'll be cleared down the ice, and that will be another icing. So we slowly approach the end of this game. Games 3 and if necessary 4 will be back in Cape Breton in member 2. And a potential game 5 would be back here at the Hector Arena if it gets to that point. Here's Morrell. That'll be turned over. Chance towards the goal. It's going to go off a stick. 15 seconds to go. Here's McEachran. And puck behind the net. 4 seconds to go, and that should just about do it here. So the Selects win 9-1 here in the opening game, the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Provincial Final Series for Nova Scotia. Amy Fields makes 21 saves for the victory. Hallie Rose MacLean, 4 goals, 2 assists for an incredible game. Thank you for watching. This has been High Button Sports production of the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League playoffs. Game 2 will be tomorrow afternoon here in Hector. We'll see you then.